Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. Can you type it in? Good afternoon. Or can you please greet everybody? Good afternoon. Good afternoon. I see a lot of people from Vertex here. We have Anna. We
Yes,
have Elijah as well. Francis Ganapo. Some of our students are here. Lay as well. So good afternoon. Huge shout out to you guys who have been learning under our wing in Vertex Trading. So another week, another trade that's going to us or coming to us right now. Okay. Let me please share my screen, and can you please type number one if you can see the screen? Can you see the screen properly, guys? I'm audible as well. Yes. Can you type number one if I am audible as well? Yes, I believe I am. Okay, I am. So great. So let me please just play the slide presentation for the topic for today. Again, welcome to Vertex and welcome to DuPoint Markets. So my name is FQ Farnasio and I am your trading coach or mentor for this afternoon session. A little risk disclaimer for everybody. I am not your financial advisor. The information that will be shared in this live webinar is for educational purposes only. And trading basically involves a significant amount of risks and past performances that are not indicative to our future actions. Please take note, take every single thing with a grain of salt and apply things and learn things properly as we go along. Okay, can you type number two if you guys are ready for our session for this afternoon? Number two. All right. So everyone's ready and everyone is settled. Again, my name is FQ Farnasio. I am a licensed CPA and I am a PFME. So I am the head mentor and coach of Vertex Trading. I am one of the educators of the Society of Technical Analysts. And a lot of you guys are here right now because basically you want to know how to become a good trader. Like I said a while ago, the risk disclaimer, if you think this webinar or this series that we will be providing is a get rich quick scheme, it's not for you. I want everybody to learn and take down notes. Who among you guys have notebooks right now? Can you type number one if you have your notebooks alongside with you? Because I'll be discussing some technical aspects, some future announcements that will be significant for our trades for this whole week, and things that we need to consider when we are trading. So let's get into the juice. Before anything else, I believe that everyone is a student of the market. So we have to treat the market as a learning avenue for us to continuously grow. The goal of this discussion is for you to become a decent trader. So a fundamentalist, a technical analyst, and a good risk manager. So right now, the topic, let's get back to our previous discussion, or
DuPoint,
huge shout
the
out to
one-stop
our,
trading platform for
yeah, huge
commodities,
shout out to
indices,
DuPoint
and
for this
currency
webinar. So
pairs.
thank you, DuPoint, for providing this webinar or free webinar for everyone. So if you need to get to know
DuPoint,
about
the
DuPoint, we
one-stop
have a
trading
link here,
platform for commodities,
a
indices,
QR
and
code for
currency
everyone to
pairs.
utilize so that you can sign up with DuPoint as well and get to feel, get
DuPoint,
to
the
use our
one-stop
platform.
trading
It's a really
platform for
good platform
commodities,
to use.
indices.
So let's get into the juice of the session for this afternoon. Who among you guys have noticed the pop of the market from our last week's call? Can you type number two? If you have been playing or eyeing the market since last week when the elections of the US came about, can you type number two? The biggest game changer of the market is when Donald Trump actually won. And a lot of speculations, a lot of understandings of the market came about. Well, especially we have disclosed from our last week's webinar, last Tuesday, that the biggest or one of the biggest impacts that will hit the market is through cryptocurrency. And I believe we saw crypto soar tremendously. Right now it's at 88,000 USD and it is going up and up and up and up. But I believe some of you guys might still be that hesitant because it's way above the skies right now. Correct? Can you type number 2 if you missed the opportunity of trading this idea or trading the idea? Let's try to dissect and let's try to understand how will we capitalize on this kind of situation should it actually come our place again, okay? So with Donald Trump being the first crypto president or first ever cryptocurrency president declared, it gave sparks to what Bitcoin did since last week. So it made a breakout of its previous high around this level during the US elections way back November 6 or November 5. Philippine time, Philippine day, it's November 6. So this came about with cryptocurrency and we had a what we call phenomenon called breakout. Can you type it in there, guys? Breakout. We had a phenomenon called breakout, and breakouts are actually what we call momentums. Momentums in the market are really important that we need to consider and look into. But first things first, before we look into certain momentums in the market, you have to understand how to do a separation. Okay? Separation of trends is very important and there are key things in the market that we need to look into. What is the aspect of cryptocurrency beforehand and what is it doing right now for us to make a sound decision as to what will be our future actions? And it will be critical for traders to be trading things properly here on because of its surge of move. Well, we've discussed this yesterday in our servers with Strong Point. It's a CTA program wherein we discussed about the pop or we discussed about trends and the series of what Bitcoin might be doing. But let's try to look into it and let's just say look into what should we be expecting. Now, this is that time and day that we had discussed in our server prior to what Bitcoin is doing. Or when Bitcoin was popping out of its new high. So this phenomenon is what I want everybody to look into. And what are our considerations from this part of the market and moving forward in the market? Because like what I've said, we have to be aligned with the mindset of what this trend is telling us and what the potential trend moving forward will be telling us. Because it will be really critical if we don't what we call separate that line in the sand. So that line in the sand will be critical for our trades moving forward. So what do I mean by line in the sand or separation? We need to first understand what are the emotions that are being dealt with us today right now because of its current trend. Right now, Bitcoin is in a really strong uptrend. It's in a bull run. Can you type it in there, guys? Bull run. It is in a bull run right now. And bulls are taking over and demand is really taking over, making prices go up and up and up and up. Now, okay, a lot of traders have been posting port snaps, or I believe some of you guys have been seeing some port snaps in your news feeds, in your social medias about people trading cryptocurrencies. Well, the market is pretty much going in a euphoric level. Euphoric meaning everybody is happy. So we need some precautionary measures here on as well. We have to understand what is the idea in this market and what should we be doing here on. Now, let's look into the topics and discussions that we need to look into. Superman, like I said, we are in a state of greed and overtrading of a lot of people. And what are the potential things that we need to consider and to understand so that we can manage things well? So, let's get into the idea of trends first. Okay, can you type it in there, trends? Trends. I see some students of mine here who are in the webinar right now, and I want to ask our students: is it okay if I ask Elijah, what are the two kinds of trends that you know that we've discussed before in our server? There are only two kinds of trends, Nak. Elijah, are you there? Do you have a mic? Caught off guard. We have an uptrend and downtrend. There are two kinds of trend. That's one trend that you are discussing. You cannot unmute. It's okay. So we have two kinds of trend. Can you type? Can you say it, guys? Trending and what we call non-trending. Trending and non-trending. Let's try to understand the idea of what a trending market is from a non-trending market. So trend, I'll use my annotate. So let's type it in here. So we have trend. Wait. So let's try to type here the word trend. So trend. And we have the non-trending phase of the market. Okay. Non-trending. So these are the two types of trend that we need to look into. And it's the idea of separating two trends from each other will be critical for our trading to go about. So try to understand, like what I've said, we have to separate the idea between the two. When it comes to what happened with cryptocurrency, or with regards to what happened with what we call this, the market. Let's say, let's travel to BTC USD. We use different indicators to likely see what kind of trend that we are dealt with currently. Okay, if we look at the macro perspective of things, there are a lot of indicators that have been using, or that traders have been using, to actually capitalize or look into these aspects of the market. Now, in our system, in our Vertex system, we utilize indicators such as moving averages and also price action to look into what specific kind of trend we are currently in. And the idea of trends, let's say, for example, in moving averages, I'm not going to discuss in depth on how it's going to be used, but try to understand that when a moving average, or when the moving average of any indicator that you are using is a bit on a choppy scale. Can you type it in there, choppy? It's on a choppy scale. No definite direction, no precise movement or direction where it will be going. The understanding that we should put into our trades is that the market is what we call in a non-trending state. Can you type it in there? Non-trending. Non-trending. It's in a non-trending state. Whereas indicators such as when it is pointing on a specific direction or moving upwards on a specific direction, it is what we call in a state of uptrend, or in a case that your moving averages or indicators are pointing down, everything is in a downtrend. So technically speaking, if it is on a choppy scale, technically everything is crossing over each other. So that will give us that sound decision or idea that this market is what we call in a non-trending state. This kind of state of the market is, in our context, basically some traders or some people who are trading the market will likely enter in and outs of the trade multiple times if basically you use your indicators. So when we see that choppiness in the market with the use of an indicator, let's say it's doing some crisscross motions like that one, we tend to remove the idea of utilizing that indicator. It gives us a more clean and precise approach into looking and viewing at this kind of moving average, and that it's high likely that we look into certain levels or key levels on this kind of trend that should be considered. Okay, now just for the record, on a sideways momentum scale or on a sideways trend scale of the market, most of the time, charts are only reacting in 3 specific levels. Okay? Or the price action is only reacting in 3 specific modes of the market or levels. One of which is actually the resistance area. One of which is the support area. So we have here the resistance area. We call it an area. I won't be expounding on how we manage to look into these specific levels in the market. We call this actually the support area as well. Whereas, wherein, if the market keeps coming back to those levels, it keeps on just bouncing. Now, we have a certain anatomy that we have discussed in our server yesterday or the other day, last Wednesday, that we discussed last Wednesday, wherein if it is in a sideways, like what I've said, basically if we use one specific moving average only to see or to check how can we, or if we're gonna enter in and out of a trade with the use of our indicator, basically we have a lot of trade executions, right? Do we have a lot of trade executions with the use of our moving average? Yes, you will be going in and out. Be going out. I'll enter here, but I'll go out as soon as the moving average or the price breaks down that moving average. So the idea of utilizing your moving average as a support and resistance is already defeated. So it won't be reliable in that sense because of having too much trade executions that is not going towards a specific direction. So there is no specific direction but right. Okay? So there's no other way for the market to go along except for it going in a sidewards movement. So we don't want that. Ultimately, when we see a sideways price action, we call it as a hard trade. Can you type it in there, guys? Or can you please dictate, pakisabi in Tagalog? Can you say it? Pakisabi, hard trade. Hard trade. Mahirap. Okay, yan na lang. Mahirap. So it's a hard trade. Basically, we want to defeat that idea of it being a hard trade because if it is in a hard trade, we don't want to have a lot of trades, okay, that will likely give us more or potential losses in the future because of not knowing what specific direction will it go. Okay, you got the idea, everyone? So let's increase it further, the understanding on the sideways, and try to understand. Like what I've said, there are only 3 important levels that the sideways price action is actually reacting to. So number 1 of which is the sideways resistance area, the sideways midline, and also the sideways box bottom. We call it boxes because we are utilizing the Darvas box system in our system. As you see, if you are to look at the reaction points of the market, even the midline is pretty much reacting, or the market is also reacting to what we call the midline because it's so one key level we are looking into. If you want to increase further on how to manage to enter ahead of time, we have specific modules that we discuss in our server so that, well, a lot of our students or some of our students who are trading the cryptocurrency space are entering prior to when Trump was being elected because of some indicators. And we won't be discussing too much on that one. I want us to discuss about the separation. So can you type it in there, guys? Separation. As you see, as what I've said a while ago, the market is choppy. Okay, it's choppy. It gives us not a good signal when to enter and exit a particular trade. That is why it is important that we align the idea of what we call the sideways price action. When a sideways price action is formed, like what I've said, we have, well, 6 anatomies on how it is actually being formed. We have the first move of the market wherein it is an initial move. Okay? And also we have that series of pullbacks and what we call a rebound of the market that will tell us that there is that level in price that what we call support and or resistances. Last thing that we have to consider when we are trading or when we are dealt with a sideways price action is to actually see the idea that we have crossed or identified already the level or important levels of resistance and support. Can you type it in there, guys? Resistance and support. See to it that you have pinpointed clearly with the use of anatomies of price action, the anatomy of SNR. You have pinpointed already properly that the market is in a sideways price action and that it had shown you clearly resistance levels, key resistance areas, and key support areas. That same level of identification will give us that very important level of the market. That very important level of the market is actually the last phenomenon that we want to see when we have a sideways price. That last phenomenon is what we call a momentum. Can you type it in there, guys? Momentum. That last line that we need to look into when we are trading on a sideways price action is that momentum. Or in other words, in the face of cryptocurrency, we call it the breakout. So in the face of BTC USD, you have the BTC USD currency in your DoofPoint platform as well. So a lot of traders are looking into this idea. Okay. Now, how do we manage things well when we see this phenomenon? Well, we have discussed this in our server, and this is actually the slide that we discussed with our server. So shout out, I saw a student there. It's Randel, top 4 Instagrams champion or top 3 Instagrams champion, si Sir Randel. So one of our students in StrongPoint, he is there in that Zoom account. So si Lipad na Tuweng, the legendary. Okay. We have to separate the idea of the two trends. It's very important that you separate the idea of the two trends to avoid a mismatched idea. Okay? On a sideways, like what I've said, it is ultimately, regardless if it is a normal consolidation or a congested kind of consolidation, you have to understand it is a hard trade. Why? Because of basically going in and out of the market multiple times. Whereas, easy way for traders to actually capitalize in is that if you know, number one, how to enter the trade prior to its breakout or during the breakout of it, or the next step, because there are basically 3 ways for you to actually capitalize markets on a sideways. Either you buy on support on a specific level, or buy on the midline momentum, or buy on actual breakout of that sideways level. So there are also some indicators that we are using to tell us in advance that this level is a good enough level for us to execute. Now, the phenomenon we want to see is actually the breakout candle, like what BTC did. So let's try to relate it with the idea of separation. Like what I've said, let's separate this idea from the potential of this new trade idea. The idea of this sideways price is what we call non-trending. When we say it's non-trending, there is no definite direction in price. It just goes right. If we say trending and we see the breakout phenomenon, this is the point in price where it will give us an early sign of potential continuation. Can you type it in there? Potential. Now, the idea, I want to use the word potential first. We are looking into the technical aspect of things because we're not looking into the fundamental aspect yet. But if we add up to fundamentals, the approach of how we will be managing to enter and exit the trade, it will give us a more sound decision if we're gonna make that hodl or hold. Can you type it in there? Hodl. Hodl. Okay. So this idea will give us that separation. But like what I've said, we need to separate the idea between the two. Because if you learn to separate the idea between the two, it is easier to identify things here on. Now, to tell us about ideas of separation, okay? Basically, we wrote a while ago here a non-trending phase market wherein it is just precluded in what we call a big box, or it is just playing in a range motion. It's just like the war of Ukraine and Russia, wherein they are in two separate borders. Okay, they are in two separate borders like South Korea and North Korea, Iran and Israel, right? They are in two separate borders wherein it's a crossfire between two countries. That's how sideways work. Now, usually, penetration of price action is like barricades of wars as well. If you see a hole and the bullet penetrates or a tank penetrates that level, technically we call that what we call a breakout. I love using the idea of a prisoner trapped in a cage when I see a sideways price. If you are a prisoner, may I ask people in the group right now, Ma'am Ana, if you are a prisoner, let's say for example, you have been locked in a prison for quite some time, and that you saw a small opening. Let's say for example, you are sentenced for life in prison. Nakunod, let it not happen, okay? So you are sentenced in life, in prison for life, and you see a hole. What will you do? Will you run? Yes. Can you type run if you will run? If you are a prisoner, it's just like price action. Take note, the idea of it is for you to have or to look into, run to the max, Ma'am Ana said, to look into the idea of checking a momentum. Now, usually, when prisoners escape, they don't just write up run. They have to check on the idea of that whole sideways or that prison cell so that they won't get caught by the guards. Usually, we call this confirmation, or we call this the phenomenon of confirmation. This confirmation tells us or reminds us the idea of the role reversal. Can you type it in there, guys? Role reversal. The role. So the role reversal of the market before, historically, when Ma'am Ana was still inside of prison, the prison cell served as her resistance. Okay? Now, when she escaped and when she went out of the prison, she tested. Okay? She tested the wall. Is it still, am I really free? Okay? Am I really feeling or holding the walls of the prison and check and scan for potential threats of me? Now, the next thing that Ma'am Ana should be doing is to run. Now, trends works this way. Okay? Now, this phenomenon of role reversal, or what we call confirmation, is one of the most ideal things that we need to look into. If we are to look at the idea of what cryptocurrency did or Bitcoin did, let me remove all the text, of what cryptocurrency did or BTC did, since we have a BTC USD pair that we are also trading in DuPoin as well. We are not looking into the macro perspective of things, but we look into the micro perspective of what's happening with BTC. Can you see the confirmation of what BTC did, testing out the idea of the support? Yes, testing out the idea of it now becoming that key support. And this was discussed in our server ahead of time or during the market phase when it was freshly popping out of the market. Now, this idea of role reversal is very, very important, and it will give us or separate the idea of what we call the non-trending from the potential trending one. Now, look into the idea of the confirmation. If we are to define what an uptrend is, the most basic of the most basic understanding of the market is HH. What else? Can you type it in there? HH, HL. What does it mean? Higher high, higher low context. And this idea will give us, or that separation idea from the non-trending one towards the trending one, if we see this new high perspective from the market, it will tell us that the market has now shifted its idea towards a different trade idea. You got the idea, everyone? Yes? So we call this the separation between the two markets. Now we're just reviewing what happened with BTC, and well, it's really strong. We are eyeing with BTC a level of let's say a 93,000 level, and we are looking at the first initial level of 80,000, wherein the market had a hiccup during its 80,000 run here around this level. And we are looking at a 93,000 to 100,000 potential. But moving forward, like what I've said, on any trending market, there is always a caveat, or there should always be a warning for everyone. Can you type it in there, guys? Warning. There should always be a warning for you. It's important that we know the idea on hand, that we know the trade idea on hand. It is also important to separate the trade idea from the non-trending to the potential trending ones. But we need to also look into the specific risks involved during that cycle. Now, that is what I said, the separation of the idea. That is what we call the technical aspect of things. Can you type it in there? Technicals. Technicals. That is the technical aspect of things. So that, well, when you want to utilize it with different markets, let's say you want to trade the idea of euro, for example, or GBP. Euro, I'll be discussing later why is euro continuously dropping as well. I'll be discussing as well why are other pairs reacting this way, whereas some people are speculating that Trump will potentially give a fiscal policy of for good for business and all, good for people. But well, why did it surge this way? So let's discuss that in depth later. Okay. Now, like what I've said, this is the idea separation, and that is the technical aspect of things, and we need to take note. We have visited the charts a while ago with what happened with cryptocurrency and what will potentially happen as well with other pairs, okay? If you know how to separate the idea of non-trending ones to the potential trending ones, I guess it's automatic already when we try to understand things. Correct? So if, let's say, for example, with what happened with BTC, with gold, for example, when it freshly created a new high perspective around this level, the tradable idea is, or the idea that we need to look into is to separate the idea of the non-trending from the trending ones. Thereon after, if you try to separate it clearly, it will give you that highest and potential yields that it will give, right? And when it became choppy again, or it became sideways again, it will likely give us that sign of its potential reversal if it creates that breakdown or breakout once more. So in this case, since it broken already its sideways price action and potentially now going towards a downward movement trend, the trend is your friend. Can you type it in there? The trend is your friend. So you have to respect trends. But it is equally important for you to get to know where the market should be going or will be going in the future, Should you master, okay, my piece of advice is that you master also the key element of support and or resistance. If you want to know it more, it is embedded in our programs, in our CTA program, in StrongPoint and in PFME. So you're pretty much welcome to come inside. And that is the technical aspect. Okay? That is the technical aspect. But like what I've said, we always have, or we should always have that caveat in the market that we need to look into. Because a lot of people right now are in this place of mindset. Can you type it in there? To the moon. Filing their resignation letters. Boss, I will resign because this is what's happening with BTC, and a lot of people are heavily invested to it. Some people manage to short gold. It's a really good market. Some people in Vertex also manage to short all the major pairs and all because of the rate cuts that had happened in the past. So those are the technical aspects and also the fundamental understanding of it. But like what I've said, manage it well. Because, okay, not everything goes up, like what I've said. You have to check, okay, cross-check also those emotions in place, your systems in place, your stop loss in place, okay? And be sure to diversify all those baskets properly. So huge shout out to DuPoint Markets for providing all these insights as well. So they have one of the lowest spreads as well and really fast market executions and platforms. Especially, I love the withdrawal process of it because they are one of the first brokers that I've seen that when you withdraw on a weekend, they send your money on a weekend. So it's really good. Kudos, DuPoints for that. Okay, DuPoint for that one. So check them out. We have a QR code here. Do scan it up if you want to know more. And we are also providing some free insights for DuPoint people. So we will be creating a dedicated server for all DuPoint Philippines. Okay, for all DuPoint delegates in the Philippines, wherein we will be sharing our global market insights in depth for everyone's use. Okay, so that you will be trading things properly here on. So these are all the data that I will be opening for people who wants to also come in and utilize DuPoint as a platform. Okay, can you type number one? Can you type number one if you want it? If you want to get to know how to see or get a glimpse of all those economic data in our server. I am opening it for everyone as well. It is a gift for the community so that everybody will be guided as well. So send us a message in our server and we will be giving you a Pathfinder role so that you get a glimpse of what our server is as well. So before anything else, let's have a review of our last week's discussion. Like what I've said, BTC went up, all the major pairs went down. So what is this telling us? Can you ask what, everyone? What? What is this telling us? And what will it tell us here on after? Because a lot of speculations have popped out that Donald Trump wants to wants the head of Jerome Powell out of the Federal Reserve. But they well, basically Donald Trump doesn't have the power to evict him or retire him as Chair Powell of Federal Reserve. But what is indicative of all this happening in the market? What will potentially happen that is critical for our trades ahead? So okay. Market outlooks that we are looking into moving forward in our server is actually right now it's the consumer credit and economic indicators that the market is looking into. Okay? This consumer credit, okay, before anything else, I want us to review. If you guys are here during our last discussion from last week, can you type number 1 if you guys are here? Are you present during our last week's discussion, or have you watched the previous webinar we gave under DuPoint? Yes. Can you type number 1 if you guys are here? None? Are you sure? I see some people here. Okay? So we've discussed about last week with base and coat. Correct? Do you remember? Can you please say base and coat? About base and coat. And this will be essential for our economic outlook. Okay. Now, if you did not watch that session, please refer to the previous session. It's posted in YouTube. We'll be posting it in our page as well in Vertex later today. We want to ensure that all DuPoint people or people inside of our communities who are present here right now knows what to do week ahead. Okay, and the people who are still or wants to have a glimpse of what happened last week will watch it later. Okay, so base and coat. Let's look at consumer credit trends. Okay, let's look at consumer credit trends. What is this consumer credit trends of the market of the US that's happening right now? Well, consumer credit is actually a revolving credit of, let's just say, minimal growth, maintaining flat. It is actually maintaining flat for the US for several months already. It is indicative of lack of confidence in the market. So what is this data that I am referring to? We've discussed the base and coat action. And from last week, one of the major market movers is actually the consumer trends. Okay, that data that was released last Friday, here, it's actually the consumer sentiment of the market. And yes, there is growth at 73%. It gave a pop in the dollar. Okay, it gave a dollar a boost, a pop, and the pairs or the other pairs, it being positive for the dollar, it being negative for euro. That's why euro went down, GBP went down. Let's get back to the understanding of our base and coat. But when consumers feel confident, this is actually their financial situation already. Okay, in the US. And this data of consumer sentiment, as per our terminals, this is a reflection of people tending to use credit cards more freely and optimistic about what's happening. But what we have to look into moving forward is what will be the Federal Reserve actions because of this, or what will likely become their actions moving forward should this become the case. Okay, so the Federal Reserve basically, what happened, that is why it boosted this consumer confidence trends. Does anyone recall what happened with the Federal Reserve? What did they announce last week? Did they announce something last week? Yes. They announced a rate cut potential, right? Yes. Thank you, Hendrich. So they announced a rate cut, a 25 basis point cut, which is actually expected. But their sentiment basically suggests what? Downplaying of the labor market. Okay? So later I'll be sharing some insights. What will be the potential actions or trade ideas that we need to look into? Now, with the labor market insights, continued claims for unemployment benefits are very rising. Okay, are rising. So benefits of unemployment are rising. So it suggests underlying labor market weakness. So the weakness of labor market is suggesting the weakness of labor market. But like I said, okay, if labor market is further weakening and benefits of people are rising, people tend to have more use of their credits. Okay? And the only call to action of the Federal Reserve here on will become likely a potential of another potential rate cut. So it is what we call an easing of the economy because of it. Well, we haven't felt it yet because it will likely happen soon again. Okay, in 30 days, 36 days. So it will soon happen again. And we are looking into the data of the CME, but I'm looking at another 25 basis point cut happening. So like what I've said, what are the implications of this market happening. If this is the data or labor data that is being provided for us, okay, that is being provided to us. Technically, if this is the data that is being provided to us, we are looking at a potential. Can you type it in there, guys? A potential. Potential. If there will be an interest rate cut of the US, it will sell or it will tell us that the dollar will weaken. Right? If the dollar weakens, the euro currency will potentially be stronger. Right? You got the idea? So likely, that trade idea will give us that decision of the euro or the GBP or the AUD potentially creating another or a reversal of its trend. But, take note, there are other factors that we need to look into before looking into this data for the coming 30 days. Okay? For the coming 30 days. Right now, the data of the German data is telling us another story and context of what's happening in the Eurozone. Okay? So, there is someone who's writing in the screen. Okay, let's remove it. So, if you are to look at the data in the Eurozone, this came from the World Economic Outlook of projections. Okay? Now, the data of the US, since last week, it told us that the dollar will potentially weaken and strengthen other currencies against the dollar. That is the economic outlook. But right now, currently, as we speak, we have what we call the economic crisis of Germany. Can you type it in there, guys? Economic crisis. Economic crisis. Wow, economic crisis of Germany. And that Germany currently is facing severe economic distress or downturn. This led to the further strength of weakness towards euro. You got the idea, guys? This led to the further increase of weakness to euro. So what led to this economic downturn? There are a lot of aspects that we need to consider and look into before speculating in advance what will happen with the US. Take note, we're not only applying things on a technical aspect. We need to see the story first and understand. Then, what will be our action when we look at the technicals? You got the idea? Can you type number 1 if you got the idea? Okay. Germany's economy right now is basically shrinking for the last 2 years. And significant impacts like factory closing or factory close off or layoffs, particularly if you know this very good brand. Have you heard that Volkswagen's announcement recently? Yes. Can you type VW? Can you type VW if you've heard Volkswagen's announcement? Yes. So this is one of the crises, or this is one of the indicative or indicator of what's happening of the German of Europe right now. The announcement of closure of Volkswagen. So they are for years of operating, they have been right now struggling. And well, what led to this? Okay, so the German government collapsed further, basically complicating the recovery efforts of also companies and also also the currency as well. Okay, and also for people as well. Now, if we look at the data of what happened, there was an announcement by Chancellor Olaf Scholz, okay, amid the crisis. Usually, people tend to blame him for his government's actions because of putting too much money into Ukraine. Do you remember that the Ukraine and Russia war, Germany has been contributing too much to it instead of what? Instead of focusing on their country. So people are blaming Olaf, Elsa, okay. Olaf for this one. Because of Germany providing approximately what? From what I've read a while ago, it's 37 billion euros to Ukraine. Okay, instead of him preparing or providing towards the country. Okay, so experts really suggest that this should also, or their government should create some policies to outturn or to ricochet the movement, okay, to change the movement of the strength of the currency. So like what I've said, the impact of foreign aid, they focus too much on impact on foreign aid, especially with Ukraine and Russia war. So they have to cut social programs and infrastructure and modernization programs and focus their money in giving to Zelensky. So imagine, guys, let's go back to base and code. If you do not have projects for your country, like investments, if you don't have investments for your country, there are no projects. If you don't have bridges to build, there are no labor coming in. Correct, everyone? Can you type number 1 if you got the idea? There is no employment that is popping out. Correct? Because, well, basically, the government is focusing too much in providing aid to its ally. It forgot this infrastructure and modernization thing. This, in turn, led to the weakness of the currency. So, like what I've said, no employment under BBM. Sir Ariel, this is not BBM. This is Olaf. Okay, let's look for Elsa later. So, public sentiments, it's a rising controversy and dissatisfaction because of this. And there are a ton of layoffs that's happening into the German companies, especially with companies and all. And this is, let's just say, a going concern. But good news to us traders is that this is a good trade idea. Correct? Can you type number 1 if you're now thinking of a good trade idea? If this further weakens the euro currency or GBP as well, if this will further weaken the currency, does it give you that trade idea? Yes. Yes. Does it give you the trade idea? If that's the case. Yes. Can you type number 1 if you got the idea? If euro as your base weakens and strengthens, or the dollar strengthens as your quote, can you buy more dollar with the use of your euro if your euro is very weak? More or less? Can you type more or less? Which one? Is it going to be more dollars you will purchase with the use of your euro, or lesser dollars you can purchase because your euro is weak? You got the idea? Yes? Can you type it in there? So, technically, this will lead to a weaker pair, meaning the currency will likely tend to also go down. Now, what are the future outlooks that we need to look into? Can you type it in there? Outlook. There are, well, tradable ideas. That's what's beautiful about our process is that we need to look into the future outlook. And, well, going concern, in addition to it, people or even companies are outsourcing their production already. Okay, so because if it's too expensive to operate in their country, and it's much more favorable to visit other countries or to do business in other countries, can you type it in there? China number 1. Okay, China number 1, right? Basically, people tend to move out. They go to China where costs are very small. You got the idea, everyone? Yes? They go to China where everything is small. China all. Like that, okay? So the trade ideas, in this case, is for you to look into trade ideas of shorting with regards to euro. Okay? Because given the German economy's shrinking in the past 2 years, and companies are relocating for production. Okay? Relocating for production for benefits of lower energy cost, likely the outlook of ours for the European currency is bearish. And the outlook for economic challenges suggests for euro to basically weaken against other currencies. Okay? It weakens against other currencies. Siguro one good question that we need to look into is, okay, we have the rationale of the trade idea with euro. And when the dollar prints out money, potentially the dollar will weaken and the euro tends to like make a swift recovery after. Okay? You got the idea? So if the stimulus of dollar right now is in effect, we can see that reversal signs of the dollar potentially happening. You got the idea? Potentially happening thereon. Okay? You got the idea, everyone? Yes? Clear? Can you type clear if you got the idea? So right now, the going sentiment of euro and other currencies are still on a good short. But if the monetary policies kick in, and if monetary policies of what we call the European country, okay, the European country, expected move of the market, well, okay, there will be short-term volatility on the short side as well, and medium to downtrend of those pairs. But the risk here, okay, can you type it in there, guys? Risk. The risks we have to look into is dollar strength. Can you type it in there? Dollar strength. And as well as, if you are Olaf, don't sing Let It Go. Okay? Don't let go of your country. Don't let go of your country. If you are Olaf, being the chancellor of Germany, what will you do to aid the people? What will you do? What will you do to aid the people? Change policies. Very good. Play. So we call it change policies. Any fiscal or monetary stimulus of the Eurozone might turn around the economic policies temporarily. You got the idea, guys? Yes? So we have to look into here on after what are the actions of Olaf and their monetary policies, as well as external risks involved into this good shorting happening in the Eurozone. External happenings towards dollar. Can you type it in there? Dollar again, dollar. US monetary policies and expected improvements in Germany's economic data. So those are the things that we need to look into our trades. You got the idea, everyone? Yes? So Olaf should answer for his failed supports for Ukraine. Yes, actually, he should answer for his. Well, technically, he did not fail his supports to Ukraine because, like what I've said, he gave already 37 billion aid to Ukraine, Sir Ariel. But he should answer to his people if he wants to really revert back what's happening with Germany. He should answer back to it. Unless otherwise, everyone will just go China number one. You got the idea? So, okay, what I've shared, same like how I've discussed from our last module, this is the fundamental aspects of things. Any stock, pair, or coin will be moving in this kind of direction. Align it well with your technical aspect. Okay, we all have our technical aspects, right? Higher highs, higher lows. It will show in price. It will tell us what the price will likely be doing, but align it with what the fundamentals is telling you. You got the idea? Yes, can you type techno fundamentals? Techno fundamentals if you understand the idea of what I'm sharing. Okay, so this will be our biggest checkpoint. And take note, like what I've said, we have a ton of market movers that we have to look into. Like, let me look at that slide again. Market movers that we need to look into for this whole week. We have, for this whole week, it's actually this. Things to consider for this whole week. US inflation and the Federal Reserve Chair will speak. We have mixed sentiment with Europe. That's what I've said a while ago. Europe is in a mixed sentiment because of the shorting of what's happening of their economic outlook right now, and that they are very weak right now. And I shared some data coming from our terminals. I hope you understand how to apply things well. Employment data as well of AUD if you are trading AUD and business sentiment. So base quote, try to understand it in that scale. And I guess that will be my topic and discussion for today. I want to ask you guys right now, how do you find our short but sweet discussion for the markets week? Can I ask, how do you find it? Can I call on Sir Ariel? Sir Ariel, how do you find it, Sir Ariel? I hope you guys learned a lot, ha? Very helpful. Thank you. Can you type it in there, guys? How about, may I ask, Ma'am Anna? Ma'am Anna, how do you find our market discussion for the week? I hope it helps. And I hope you guys have a sound decision as to what your actions will be for the whole week. Okay? Very helpful. Thank you, Sir Ariel. Can I ask learnings from the session today? Can I ask Rachel? Ma'am Rachel Fuentes as well? How do you find it, Ma'am Rachel? I've actually tried messaging you because you've tried signing up in our program as well. Very informative. Thank you, Ma'am Anna. Very helpful as well. Thank you. So with that, like what I've said, this is part of our continuing free sharing for everybody, for you to become prepared in what's going to happen in the market. If you want to know more about what we do consider liking and sharing our page, because we have dedicated programs in our server that we teach all these things in depth. We have the Forefront program that is focusing on the global markets. One of our coaches are here, Sir Coach Renmar Garcia. And we have PFME as well. It's a micro-credential certification. I see Sir Melvin here. Okay, shout out Sir Melvin of Financial Educators Association. So they are the one giving this micro-credential certification as well. And we have the Strong Point program, who is focusing and providing you guys a licensed designation to become a licensed CPA. If you want to learn more about all these things in depth, you are pretty much welcome in our server. So do give us a message if you want in. It just comes with a course price. So, but rest assured that everything that I have been discussing, it is shown to you guys inside of our server with an open book. Once again, thank you everyone, and do consider checking out DuPoint Markets. Can you type it in there, guys? Thank you, DuPoint. Thank you, DuPoint. Thank you, DuPoint. Thank you, DuPoint, for having us this afternoon. And try considering opening account with their platform. It's very good. It's very fast. And that we, as a gift and token for everybody, we will be opening our server for our in-depth market review and terminal insights in our server for everyone. Should you wish to go on with our programs, just send us a message, and God bless everyone. This is FP Parnacio. Thank you, everyone.